A bare-bones dashcam battery pack like this may be all you need. Get longer parking surveillance for any dashcam while also protecting you from a dead car battery. Can this battery pack really give 24 hours of parking mode? Is it easy to use? Can this be used with any dashcam? What else should you know before buying one? This 70 mAh dashcam battery pack is less expensive than others, but is it worth getting? Answers to these questions and more as I put this battery pack to the test in this video. Frakking Creations, showing you the good stuff. A quick disclaimer that 70 mAh sent us this battery pack for free to review. These are my real tests and opinions of the 70 mAh battery pack. Plug and play dashcam parking mode without hardwiring. When DIY installing a dashcam, one of the biggest challenges is the hardwiring. You usually need to hardwire the dashcam in order to enable its parking mode capabilities so that the dashcam stays on when the car is turned off. A hardwired dashcam uses the car's battery to power the dashcam when the car is turned off. Normally, a hardwired dashcam using the car battery can only last a few hours at most. If you want to protect your car with more than just a few hours of parking mode surveillance, then a dashcam battery pack is something you will need. When you add a good dashcam battery pack, you can get many more hours of parking surveillance for your car. You will also get protection from a dead car battery because the dashcam will not be draining your car battery to stay powered on in parking mode. All you need to do to power your dashcam is plug the 12-volt plug of the battery pack into the 12-volt outlet or cigarette lighter socket of your car. Then connect one of the battery pack outputs to the dashcam. That's how simple it is to power a dashcam to have parking mode and not have to hardwire. Of course, you will still have to do the rest of the install, like mounting the cameras and running the cables, but no hardwiring to the car's fuse box. Using the 12-volt outlet allows the battery pack to charge while also powering the dashcam. This method is easier to install, but charges the battery pack slower. As per the specs, it will take about 90 minutes of driving the car to fully charge the battery. However, if you want to charge the battery faster, then you have the option to hardwire the battery pack to the car's fuse box. When hardwired, the battery pack only needs about 60 minutes of driving the car to fully recharge. In this kit, 70 mAh provides everything you need to use for either method, so use the one that suits your needs best. If you need more info on hardwiring, check out our hardwiring video here. In the case where you don't drive enough to fully charge the battery pack, then at some point you will have to take the battery pack out of the car to recharge at home. Use a 12-volt adapter with a 12-volt socket like this for that purpose. I'll link to one in the video description for those that need it. Battery pack for any dashcam. 2 power options. The 70 mAh battery pack has 2 power output options to choose from. These will allow you to power pretty much any dashcam. A 12-volt option when paired with a dashcam's hardwire cable, and a USB-C 5-volt option using the provided USB-C power cable. Which one should you use? Ideally, the best choice is the 12-volt option because it is pretty much compatible with all dashcams that use a hardwiring cable with BAT, ACC, and ground wires. The USB-C option works best with 70 mAh dashcams that are compatible with it. Though it could work with other dashcams too, you will just have to test it out. This is because no matter which mode you use, the dashcam needs to know when the car is turned off so that it can switch to parking mode. For the 12-volt option, the cabling includes an ACC wire, which is used by any dashcam to know when the vehicle is turned off. For the USB-C output, a signal is sent through the USB data line that indicates the car is turned off. Not all dashcams or USB-C cables are compatible with this. You can always test this with your dashcam to see if it will work.
Parking monitor activated.
Note that you might need to use the USB-C power cable that comes with the battery pack for this to work properly. In any case, this battery pack is packaged with all you need for either use case. My personal experience is that using the 12-volt output is best because it is most compatible and because you can actually get more capacity out of it than the USB-C output. I will explain in the next section. Can the 70 mAh battery pack power a dashcam 24/7? This battery pack can last more than 24 hours, But you have to understand something first. How long it can last depends on how fast you use the power. A dashcam that sips power will last longer than a dashcam that gulps power. It's like asking if a tank of gas can let you drive 500 kilometers. You can't answer without knowing if your car is a V12 that swallows gas or a 4-cylinder that sips it. Find out more about dashcam parking mode power use in our other video here, where I put them to the test in parking mode using only the car battery. This battery pack is rated at 96 watt-hours or 7,500 milliamp hours at 12.8 volts. If you have a dashcam that uses 4 watts of power in parking mode, then it theoretically can last 24 hours. If it uses more, then it should last less than 24 hours, and if it uses less, it should last longer. And this is assuming the battery can provide 100% of that capacity. When I tested the 70mAh 4K T800 in our review video, we see that it uses power at a rate of about 433 milliamps when hardwired to the 12-volt car battery. If powered by this battery pack, we should get about 17.4 hours if 100% of the power is usable. In my test of this battery pack's 12-volt output with the 70mAh 4K T800, it was able to achieve 16 hours 45 minutes. In fact, the battery monitor measured that we actually use 7,200 milliamp hours of capacity from the battery. This is very close to the 7,500 milliamp hour rating. So we have observed that the tested capacity is 92 watt-hours compared with the rated 96 watt-hours. Not bad, and it does make sense. Most battery packs will not allow draining to 0% because this will cause damage to the cells of the battery pack. Usually, power is cut when the charge level goes down to somewhere between 10 to 15%. The best news for any battery pack is when its rated capacity is accurate, as we have here. I also test the USB output of the 70mAh battery pack. Note that the 7,500 milliamp hour rating of the battery only makes sense when you also look at the voltage at the same time. This rating is for the 12.8 volt output of the battery pack. In fact, when you multiply the 7,500 milliamp hour rating with the 12.8 volt output, you get the rated 96 watt-hour rating of the battery. If you then want to convert to USB voltage of about 5 volts, then divide by 5 volts to get 19,200 milliamp hours. I next test the 70mAh battery pack in USB-C mode with a USB power meter. The measured available capacity is 15,537 milliamp hours, or about 79.9 watt-hours. This means only about 83% of the capacity is usable through USB-C, while about 96% is usable through the 12-volt output. This is likely due to the loss of efficiency when converting the 12-volt voltage down to USB voltage. You see, the cells in this battery pack are natively 12 volts, and in order to have USB power, it has to down-convert it while losing some energy in the process. What does this mean for you? In order to know how long your dashcam will last in parking mode, you will need to know how much power it uses in parking mode. Here are some rough estimates for parking mode runtimes when using this battery pack with different dashcams using the 12-volt output. Pause the video to look in detail. In these estimates, we see that it can range from as little as 10 hours to 9 days, depending on the dashcam. In the real world, an actual test using the 70mAh 4K T800, I observed a runtime of 16 hours and 45 minutes, which is quite close to the estimate. And for the FineView GX300, the real-world test shows that it can last almost 20 hours. What have we learned? Aside from getting a good parking mode dashcam, the lesson is if you want to get the most out of this battery pack, use the 12-volt output for compatibility and efficiency. What else to know about this 70mAh dashcam battery pack? This battery pack is less expensive than most other dashcam battery packs. One of the reasons is that it is bare basics and does not offer any fancy features like wireless connectivity or apps to use to check how much capacity is left. You only have these 4 LEDs that tell you roughly how much capacity is left. This battery pack literally is just a battery pack, but it does this very well. It's simple to use, it just works, no hassles, and pretty much everything you need for the battery pack comes in the box. The only thing missing is the wall charger, But no other battery pack includes this, so it's not a problem. You can buy one easily online. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and share it to help us get more eyes on it. Subscribe for more good stuff to come.